In a refugee camp in Jordan, there was a teacher who refused to teach only from books. His name was Abu Ali Iyad. He told his students about the weight of an olive harvest and the sound of Java's sea. He taught them that Palestine was not a memory to be mourned, but a home to be reclaimed. When the time came, he stood with thousands of others who decided that their story would not end in a tent. They defined themselves by their will to return. Abu Ali Iyad never stopped teaching. His final lesson became a promise for generations. We die standing, and we will never kneel. This isn't just one man's story. It's the story of a people who, even in the darkest hour, chose dignity over despair. The 1967 war was a seismic shock. In 6 days, the West Bank, Gaza, and East Jerusalem fell under a military occupation that continues to this day. For Palestinians, it was a second catastrophe. Homes were lost again. The keys many families still carried now felt heavier. The broader Arab political project, which many had looked to for salvation, lay in ruins. In that vacuum of despair and disbelief, a simple, powerful idea took root. It was a quiet conviction passed between neighbors in cafes and camps. If no army would liberate us, we would learn to liberate ourselves. The path of popular armed resistance wasn't chosen lightly. It was chosen when every other door seemed closed. It was the only path left that promised agency, the right to shape your own destiny. It wasn't about glory, it was about work. The hard, dangerous, deliberate work of reclaiming a voice, of becoming once more the authors of your own story. And that brings us to Karameh, March 21st, 1968. A major Israeli force, armored columns and paratroopers, crossed the Jordan River. Their objective was to crush the resistance base once and for all. They were confident that the Fedayeen would retreat, but the fighters made a different choice. They would not run. They would make their stand here in a town whose very name meant dignity. What followed was a fierce day-long battle. Resistance fighters, known as the Fedayeen, fought alongside Jordanian infantry and artillery. They fought from trenches, rooftops, and orchards. Jordanian artillery hammered the advancing columns. It was a costly, brutal fight. Street by street, house by house. By afternoon, the Israeli army ordered a withdrawal. Both sides suffered heavy losses, but the myth of invincibility was shattered. The true victory wasn't over territory, it was a victory of spirit. For a region still paralyzed by the shock of 1967, Karameh was a lightning bolt. It was proof that the occupation could be resisted. Overnight, Karameh became a rallying cry. Lines of students, workers, and refugees formed at recruitment offices. Fatah's ranks swelled from hundreds to thousands. It was the moment a scattered people began to transform into an organized movement. It was the rebirth of dignity. The victory at Karameh sparked a fire across Jordan. It transformed the resistance from scattered cells into a revolutionary army. The refugee camps along the Jordan Valley were no longer just places of waiting. They became fortresses. By mid-1968, Fatah led the charge, soon joined by others like the PFLP. and the DFLP. Their ranks swelled as thousands of young Palestinians volunteered, believing once again they could change their own fate. The Fedayeen didn't just build an army, they built a society. They established training centers, supply lines, and local networks. The camps were alive with the work of liberation. Between 1968 and 1970, the Jordan River became a front line. Night after night, fighters launched cross-border raids, targeting military positions and patrols. The message was clear. The occupation would not be cost-free. The silence of 1967 was over. This rapid rise of Palestinian resistance in Jordan created a dangerous friction. By 1970, the growing power of the Fedayeen began to alarm the Jordanian state. Tensions escalated throughout the year, fueled by clashes and the increasing visibility Palestinian resistance operations launched from Jordanian territory. In September 1970, these tensions erupted into a full-scale conflict, what Palestinians call Black September. The Jordanian Arab Army moved to dismantle the PLO's infrastructure and control. The fighting was brutal and decisive. Outgunned and outnumbered in an urban war, the Palestinian factions faced a painful reckoning. By July 1971, the resistance was forced into a complete withdrawal. It was a devastating blow. Thousands of fighters and their families were scattered once again. But for this movement, exile was not the end. It was a pattern of regeneration. They found a new base in Lebanon. They moved into the refugee camps in the south and around Beirut. And from the ashes of Jordan, they began again. They rebuilt their institutions and turned their eyes to a new front line. The struggle had not ended. It had simply shifted ground. Exile to Lebanon, the resistance did not disband. It rearmed and reorganized. By 1972, a new strategic reality took shape, with Beirut as their new base and crucial military backing from Syria. The movement was stronger than before. They turned southern Lebanon into an active front. Their mission was attrition. Cross-border raids targeted Israeli patrols and infrastructure in the north. These weren't isolated attacks. They were a calculated campaign designed to pin down Israeli forces and stretch their defenses thin. This pressure forced the Israeli military to commit vital brigades and air defenses to guard the northern border. It created a second front long before the official war began. When Egypt and Syria launched the October War in 1973, this preparation proved vital. Palestinian units launched diversionary attacks from Lebanon, disrupting Israeli logistics. Crucially, they forced Israel to look north, dividing its army at the moment of greatest impact. For the first time since 1948, Palestinians were not bystanders in a regional war. They were recognized partners, fighting on a unified front. From the shock of defeat, a people rose, scattered but unbroken. They transformed despair into the dignity of resistance. Their struggle became a testament to courage and the unyielding pursuit of freedom. This story isn't just history, it's a call to witness, to remember, and to never look away. If you believe in keeping this history alive, consider supporting us on Patreon. Help us continue to tell the story of Palestine.